It's bad right now, guys. Global warming, coronavirus, running out of toilet paper. Starting to feel like the end of the world. Or idiocracy. When tragedy strikes or during a pandemic, people band together and they want to do good. And I too wanted to help. Teach you something that could help you. Especially during, well, a quarantine. To be honest, nothing I could think of seemed useful. I searched for hours, scouring the internet, and that's when it came to me. Something I'd learned about years ago. All I had to do was think outside the role. I know what you're thinking. What are you going to do with that? Help you survive. Today, we're making quarantine crackers, aka hardtack. For starters, if you're unfamiliar with hardtack, essentially what it is a non-perishable ration that was used a lot in the Civil War. Interestingly enough, it actually dates back to Roman times. So, the stuff's been around a while. Now, the good news is it's perfect for a quarantine, because all you need is flour, water, and salt. And this stuff could last probably until the end of time. To begin, we're going to start with 4 cups of all-purpose flour in a large mixing bowl. To that, you're going to add 2 cups of room temperature water and 3 teaspoons of salt. Keep in mind, during real hard times where you can't find any toilet paper or salt, you can make this with just flour and water. Give your hardtack a good mix. Essentially what you're making here is cement. You will be able to fill in any potholes you may have in your driveway. One of the most important things to remember whenever you're making a pandemic bread is to never touch your face. Once it is majority of the way mixed, we are going to turn it out onto the counter and give it a good knead. If you notice that the dough is too wet, feel free to add up to a whole cup more of flour. What you're going for is a soft, pliable dough. However, you don't want it to be too sticky, or the next step will become very difficult. Once your dough has come together, flour out your work surface. I folded my dough into a rectangle just to make the next step easier. Take a rolling pin and make sure to flour it well because this stuff is like clay. We're going to roll it out until it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. You'll know you've achieved the right length when you're about 6 squares by about 3 of quilted northern. I'm going to be honest, I am not quite sure why I can't find toilet paper at the grocery store anymore. I missed the memo about the coronavirus causing uncontrollable bowel movements. My main concern is just when you're on lockdown and can't leave your house to take out the trash, you've got to have something you can use these toilet paper rolls for. So why not as a cookie cutter? Begin by placing your roll down and twisting in a circular motion. And then once you have your cracker cut out, reshape it slightly and then place it on an ungreased, unlined baking sheet. Once you've lined your baking sheet, you are going to place it somewhere safe, away from the children and the raiders, and let it air dry and cure for approximately 3 days. Also, pro tip, the remaining dough makes excellent pottery. Yep, that looks like it should do it. So, in just a few short hours, world's best mug. Welcome back. It's been 3 days. Let me show you what we're working with. So, our hardtack has cured. You'll know when you hear this sound. Here's where it gets ultra fascinating. Obviously, we can't eat those in the state that they are currently. You would probably break your teeth. So, what you're going to do is peel them off the pan and then transfer them into a bowl of water. Or, if you're really fancy, some milk. Let that soak for 20 minutes. While we're waiting on that to soak, let's talk about the next step. Now, in real hard times, you could just eat it like that. But if you are living in a slightly more luxurious manner, you might want to find some butter. To your medium-high skillet, you are going to add about a tablespoon of butter, or whale blubber, beaver lard, wombat ghee, platypus oil, possum lard, whatever fat you can find, and just get it nice and melty. Once they've soaked for 20 minutes, you're going to transfer them over to a paper towel to kind of drain a little bit. Begin to place them down in the fat of your choosing. Give it a good shake and make sure you're really getting that butter on there. Once they're nice and toasty on one side, give them a good flip. While those are cooling, I do want to point out there are so many uses for this hardtack. I mean, what other recipe can double as a checker set? Now that these have cooled, let's give them a shot. Right off, it does smell buttery and like it is edible. So that's a good sign. My favorite part is the texture. It's reminding me of chewing gravel. I will say it screams survival. This would hold me over till the next day for sure. I mean, I could see people eating this, like dipping it in a soup or using it like a crouton. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever eaten. I've always truly believed that laughter is the best medicine. The hardtack and quarantine jokes aside here, something that is not a laughing matter is the health and well-being of our seniors and high-risk friends and family. Stop getting out and going places. Stop hoarding all the toilet paper and all of the hand sanitizer and baby wipes and formula. Please, whatever you do, reach out to those that you know might have trouble getting supplies. Call your elderly neighbor. Share some of the stuff you already have. Donate things that you might have extra of to hospitals or nursing homes. These people have made so many sacrifices for all of us, and they deserve to be taken care of. This too will buff out. But why don't we try to be a little bit kinder, compassionate, and caring while we're waiting on that to happen? In honor of being transparent, however, I must admit that the mug failed. The smell is somewhat toxic, and I used the ornament to hold it in place, and it actually removed the paint. So I felt a little nervous drinking from it, but I mean, it makes a great pen holder. So whether you're using it for sustenance or utility or entertainment, this is a very versatile dough. Get baking, y'all. Okay. That's it.